We got the 49ers at Seattle this weekend in the divisional round. Steph Curry just does it again. And is he unstoppable? Unfortunately, people told me that I was wrong, but I said Dodgers were going to sign Kyle Tucker, and that's what they did. And LaMelo goes nuts and downs the Luca and LeBron Lakers. A lot of stuff to get into. Let's dive in. While lately LaMelo Ball has been resorted to the bench, which a lot of people and Hornets fans think that could be LaMelo's first step to being out the door with the Charlotte Hornets. But he ended up hitting 8 threes in the second half, downing the Lakers. And this is a team that the Lakers should not be losing to. I think everybody is 50-50 on the Lakers this year, especially because Luka is trying to take over this team. And he's still got LeBron there. And I like what LeBron's doing. Like, I'm not the most incredible fan of him. He's still approaching like 41 years old and he's hitting 20 a game. So at least. And I'm just confused. Why are they losing to teams that they should be beating? And everybody wants to rely on the good start that they had, but look at OKC, they're stumbling on teams as well. But I just don't know what it is with the Lakers. I just feel they let the weak teams like the Hornets and LaMelo Ball just go off, and that's not what the LA Lakers franchise has been. You have to beat these weak teams to make it easier on yourself. And how is Luca dominating in some points, getting 40 plus points, and they're still losing? My opinion on why these things keep happening and these losses that should not be happening are happening is they got to do something with the bench, man. The Vanderbilts, the Gabe Vincent, those guys that have been sitting there for a while, they get meaningless minutes. They got to do something with them and get key components. DeAndre Ayton ain't the guy. Like, he's already putting out sound bites like, I can't feed myself. And Rich Paul over here making the most ludicrous comment on whatever podcast he's doing. I've seen little skid bits of it, but I don't even know what he's trying to do with this stuff. But he's saying to trade Austin Reeves. I'm sorry, but Austin Reeves is the brightest star on the Lakers right now because, yeah, you made the trade for Luca, but you weren't expecting LeBron to decline like this. And for Reeves to step up like this. So by him saying that, that is crazy. And he needs to shut his mouth. And LeBron is just playing he's his own man. He says what he says. But it's like, just why would you do that? And that just causes more turmoil. The only guy that I like that is voicing his opinion is JJ Redick, the coach. He's holding these players accountable, but they ain't stepping up. So I don't know what to really say about that. It's just like you just don't know what the problem is with the Lakers. They have key components and they're still falling short. I just got a comment, and this is completely biased, obviously, because I'm from the Bay Area, lifelong since I was an embryo. I was a Golden State Warriors fan. But Steph Curry, man, with the turmoil going on with Golden State, he just continues to just be that legendary figure. Like, I have not he is just that box office draw. It's just crazy. It's like the Jordans, the Kobe's, the Shaqs. Yeah, you could say the LeBrons, but he is just that guy that he's a little bit more spectacular than them because those guys didn't have those 3-point bombs, those crazy bombs that he has all the time. And I've said it to other people before that I trust their sports opinions. I love that he is a Golden State Warrior. Like, I feel like God blessed this fan base to have a player like this. And I just have not, even though earlier in his career in the playoff games, he was struggling in clutch a little bit, but he is just so clutch in these situations and just the hardest shot you'll ever see. It's just, while statistically he might be behind some people, he's just the greatest player that I've ever witnessed. If he's not the greatest, he's neck and neck with Jordan. It's just, I'm speechless because I just don't know what else to say. It's just a privilege to watch Stephen Curry. Don't talk about baseball that often, but we're gonna get into it right now. I'm a San Francisco Giants fan, and I will be the first to admit I'm not into baseball as much as I used to be. As a kid, I was following the stats, every single stat. I come from the days where the San Francisco Giants, they had Deion Sanders on the team, Kevin Mitchell, Barry Bonds, Jeff Kent, and but the LA Dodgers are signing Kyle Tucker. This is ludicrous. And yeah, I'm gonna get all the biased LA Dodgers fans. I see you, and I know you guys love hearing a Giants fan cry about the Dodgers, but it's just ridiculous. They are just like stacking up all these players, these huge contracts, because they got a never ending payroll. And it just kind of takes the fun out of baseball. Like, you're like, oh, yeah, Dodgers might win it this year. But there's no other team that you're like, hey, they have a chance. They just have all these dominant players. And as much as I hate to say it, Otani is just crazy dominant. He'll never be higher than Barry Bonds. I'm sorry. You can say whatever you want to say, but he's just not. But it's just ridiculous who they have now. You don't got to make it fair, like I was saying on my last video. If you want to check that out, where I was talking about it's just unfair that they got Edwin Diaz. But in that video, I said they're going to get Kyle Tucker, and everybody in the comments and light my comments up because that's what you guys did before when you guys said, "Oh, I don't think we're going to get Kyle Tucker." And I said you guys were. Of course, you guys are going to get him. You guys are trying to stack the pile to make it unfair. So it is just a landslide that the Dodgers just take another World Series championship. It just makes baseball ugly and disgusting. And I think it takes the new fan experience out of it because you know who's going to win all the time. What about these small market teams? They don't even have a glimmer of a chance. But yeah, MLB need to do something about this. I think it's at a point where they might have to step in or at least have conversations with free agents. Yeah, it might be lucrative over in LA with the Dodgers, but we want to spread the wealth out. And I'm not just talking about for the Giants, I'm talking about every team. I just look at stuff like I know this is going to the NBA, but I remember when Amari Stoudemire signed with the Knicks when the Knicks weren't shit. And everybody was like, he's crazy. But all of a sudden, he made the Knicks a little bit more competitive. They didn't have enough, but still, it's just giving a little bit more of the competitive nature to another team you wouldn't expect. Instead of just, hey, yeah, we're getting an automatic championship. But whatever, screw the Dodgers all day, every day. And now let's get into NFL playoffs. So first, the Saturday games. Bills and Broncos at 1:30. I just gotta say, last week I thought, and it almost came true, that Josh Allen was gonna choke because Josh Allen this year, he has just looked like a deer in headlights in those primetime games. If I'm not mistaken, lost to the Patriots twice, and they just don't seem like the same team that's been dominant with the least amount of power. And I just feel like Josh Allen's been looking soft. Yeah, he was playing through an injury last week, but still, there's just something about him this year. Maybe he's got soft, got married. He's like looking at the bigger picture and things. But I don't know. I just think the Bills have gone down because the whole way I personally don't like how they treated Keon Coleman this year. The Broncos, yeah, they are the number 1 seed, and Bo Nix has really stepped it up, and they really got a good core. They got decent receivers. I've always been a fan of Courtland Sutton. I've been wanting the 49ers to just get him in the trade deadline, but we never do, even though it's always rumored. But anyway, so they got Bo Nix, Courtland Sutton. Their defense is crazy. Former 49ers on there. Hufunga, Greenlaw. They got Benito. So they're a very solid team. And I just can't see how Josh Allen is going to go into Denver and beat this team. And I think it just lands all on Josh Allen because I just think he's going to become a deer in headlights again. And the only way I think they could really win is if they are really effective with James Cook running the ball. And that just becomes their identity. And that's what they do. And I just don't think they're going to do that. They're going to want to make Josh Allen look like Superman. And they're going to do it. So my prediction on this game is that the Broncos are going to prevail and they will be going to the AFC title game. And then the next game, which is the one I'm invested in, is the shocking 49ers going into Seattle to take on the Seattle Seahawks. There's already been trash talk going on, which is just making my skin crawl because I just want to knock out one of those Seahawks. But I just, a lot of people are like, yeah, Seahawks, which they really have had an incredible year. And this is the third time that the teams are playing against each other. And this is a division game. And 3 out of the 4 teams left are from the NFC West. So both teams are strong, but I just see my 49ers taking this game because no one expects us. Granted, Fred Warner won't be making his return, but if everybody wants to go back to week 18 against the Seahawks, which they prevailed 13-3, I just feel that the Seattle defense, they really had a hold on us. And it comes down to Brock Purdy versus Sam Darnold. And Brock Purdy is going to prevail because he always does. He's just got that it factor. And Sam Darnold in that last game, he didn't beat us. And I feel like that is a very big positive because Niners have a completely decimated defense. But it's the next man up kind of mode out here in San Francisco. And I think that gives us an advantage. And if the 49ers can somehow hold Seattle to 13 points again, something similar, I think our defense will hold. The 49ers will beat the Seahawks. So now to the Sunday games. The Houston Texans at Foxborough against the New England Patriots. This might be the game that I want to see the most that I have nothing invested in. CJ Stroud against Drake May. This is really two good up and coming young teams that I think this matchup could play out for years to come. And I think the keys to this game is one, which CJ Stroud are we going to see? Are we going to see someone that looks vulnerable out there? Or is it going to be someone that is in command? If we see the Houston Texans and CJ Stroud we saw against Pittsburgh, Drake May and the Patriots are just going to demolish them. But I think the biggest key to the game is how Drake May handles himself against this vaunted Houston Texans defense. They got hitters on that Houston defense, and they are just trying to make a name for themselves, which they've already did this season, but we know playoffs is where it counts the most. And if I have to make a prediction, I'm gonna say the Patriots are gonna take this one. I just can't see that CJ shows up for this game. And I can be wrong, but I just think the Patriots are gonna take this one and get back to the AFC title game. Finally, the last game on the docket, the Los Angeles Rams head to Chicago and Soldier Field to play the Chicago Bears. First of all, I gotta say, great job by Caleb Williams and the seasons he's really had. It's crazy to see that the Bears might have a chance to go to the NFC title game. That's just crazy. But I think really the keys to this game is really Caleb Williams versus Matthew Stafford. Who's going to show up? And can the LA Rams coming from sunny California withstand the cold weather? And honestly, I think another key thing is which LA Rams defense are we going to see? A dominant young core defense, or are we just going to see a lackadaisical, we'll just give them enough kind of effort? But bottom line, I definitely think it's going to come back to the quarterbacks. And even though it's a division rival, I'm going to have to say I think Stafford will show up and he will do his thing, knowing that he's older and he might not have many shots left. And I think the Rams will knock off the Bears. On just a couple more quick points, right now, the Atlanta Falcons, they are currently looking like front runners to get Kevin Stefanski, the former coach of the Cleveland Browns. And while I didn't like how he handled the whole Shador situation, I think that could be a real good fit for them. And I think Stefanski is already really set up if he takes this job or gets this job. I think they can definitely reappear in the playoffs next year. And another quick take is basically John Harbaugh, which is not official yet, but it's pretty much certain. They're finalizing the details that John Harbaugh will be the coach for the New York Giants with Jackson Dart, Cam Scatterbo, and Malik Neighbors. And I think that's great because I think, in Baltimore, they probably got sick of him, like already knew what he was going to say before he said it. And that's how sometimes people get it, just gets old and everything. But I think him going to New York with that young core, I feel like the players are really going to be looking up to him and really want to hear everything he has to say and soak it all in. And it's really going to mature them. And it's honestly going to make them better players and even possibly gear them up for a surprise, maybe back to the playoffs this year. But we'll have to wait and see. But like always, drop a like, drop a comment with your opinion on all these topics because I want to hear what you got to say. This has been the Authentic Take. Until next time.